Good afternoon and welcome to Open Week hosted by the School of Financial Services. My name is Somilantinge and I'm from marketing. Joining me today is a whole bunch of academics from the school. I will not be introducing them. Our new Deputy Head of School, Brunilde Garbe, will be doing the introductions shortly. Just a bit of housekeeping on my side. If you notice at the bottom of your screen, there is a poll running. If you want us to contact you regarding our courses, please click yes and we will be in contact. Also, if you'd like to register for our semester 2 intake, kindly click on the button there at the bottom of the screen as well. It will take you to our website where you will be able to view all our courses and choose which qualification you'd like to go with. There is also an interactive chat box. Been lovely hearing from you. Welcome. And we hope you're going to have a great time with us and our academics from the School of Financial Services. Without taking any more time, I'm going to hand over to our Deputy Head of School to introduce her team. Over to you, Brunilde.
Thank you very much, Sumila. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Welcome to the School of Financial Services' first ever Open Week. So some of you won't know, some of you might know that we combined two of our schools together, the Investment and Banking School and a Financial Planning and Insurance School, and we are now known as the School of Financial Services. So welcome to this very first session. We're excited to have you all here and we look forward to answering all your questions. So like Sune van Skalkwyk has mentioned, we will be looking at our, today we will only be speaking about financial planning. Tomorrow there will be a session on risk and insurance, and the day thereafter there will be a session on banking and investment. So if you are interested in any of those sessions as well, please join us for those sessions as well. I think we'll introduce the team as we move along. We've got a lot of academics here. We're not going to let everyone speak today, but I think we can just kick off with our slides and start with the session, where I'll firstly take you through Milpark Education, who we are, what we do, and what our platforms look like. So, thank you very much. So for today's session, we will be looking at the High Certificate in Financial Planning, our NQF Level 5 qualification, our Advanced Certificate in Financial Planning, also then qualification of NQF Level 6, our Postgrad Diploma in Financial Planning on NQF Level 8. And then just a quick overview on who we are. So Milpark Education is part of the Stadio Group. You will see the Stadio Holdings Group. So you will see we also we have some sister companies, the Stadio Group, also SBS, or previously known as SBS, and then AFDA. Within Milpark Education, we have a few schools. There is the Business School, the School of Commerce, the School of Financial Services, and then also our newly launched school, the School of Professional Accounting, also previously known as CA Connect. Within our school, we have now 4 departments: financial planning, banking, investments, and risk and insurance. So who are we? We were established in 1997. We've got qualifications ranging from certificate level up to doctorate level within the various schools. And our offices are in Observatory in Cape Town. And we aim to provide trusted learning journeys with high levels of holistic support, which are accessible and transformative for our students. And we look forward to sharing your financial services learning journey with you. Okay, so the qualifications that we currently have within our school is on NQF Level 5, our higher certificate. We have the higher certificate in financial planning, higher certificate in financial products, higher certificate in short-term insurance, and a higher certificate in banking services. We also have the advanced certificate on NQF Level 6, also financial planning in short-term insurance. and then also on banking services as well. And on BCom, our NQF level 7 qualifications, which actually sits within the School of Commerce. There's also a BCom with a major in financial planning, or a major in short-term insurance, or a major in banking, or a major in investment management. On our postgrad diploma level, NQF 8, we have got the postgrad in financial planning, the postgrad in investment management, and then from 2024, we will have a postgrad in risk management with various specialization streams, and we're very excited about this new qualification that we are launching in 2024. If you want to know a little bit more about that, you're welcome to join the session that we will be hosting tomorrow for the insurance, risk and insurance department. Okay, so just quickly, so there's two different streams that we deliver on, a DL and a DLO. So I'm going to talk about DL, which is a distance learning now. And when we move over to the PGDip, we will talk about the DLO model. Okay, so our distance learning qualifications are put together in a way that students can pace themselves. You know, it's flexible, it's accessible. You can do it from anywhere in the world. So we use an online platform, the Milpark platform, and it leads students through the course material, and it provides them with support as well. So on these qualifications, we have got formative assessments in the form of online tests, or then submissions, which are our assignments in normal terms. We have then also a summative exam, which is normally a proctored online examination. There's maybe 1 or 2 instances where we have an online submission, which is similar to an assessment, but most of our exams are online proctored. Our formative assessments contributes 30% towards the final mark. And like I mentioned, it consists out of the assignments and then the online tests. The exact formative structure for every module is given on the course page at the start of every semester. So that will be available to you. And then students will have to complete a final summative assessment at the end of each semester. And that will contribute 70% towards your final mark. Students need to obtain a sub-minimum of 40% in the final summative assessment and an overall mark of at least 50% in order to pass a module. Next slide. Thank you. Okay, so just a quick overview. I don't want to spend too much time on what it looks like, but we want to just share with you what our course pages look like at the moment. So you will see there's an overview tab, a content tab, a support material tab, a live at Milpark, a proctorio help tab, formative tab, mock exam, summative exam, and we're going to quickly run through most of them. So just to start off with, so on your overview tab, you will find your welcome note, you will find your study plan, you will find your assessment guidelines, and you will also find on there your tutor forum. So if we go to the next slide, just to show you what the tutor forum looks like, you will see we've taken a screenshot of one of our previous course pages just to show you where students ask questions and then we can respond to it. Then if we move on to the next one, where we get the content page, there you have your study material. So any study material that you need to have will be uploaded there. We sometimes upload recommended material, but it's not necessarily material that you have to go through, but what we recommend. But on there, like, we'll have access also to an online version of your study guide. If we then go to the next one, you will see that there's also a support material tab. So this is where our lecturers upload additional support material for you, just to maybe clarify on specific topics. So you'll see we've uploaded there under topic 1, we've uploaded a recording with the slides as well as on topic 2. So that is something that you kind of can expect, that additional support material may be loaded on the course page for you. The next one is our live at Milpark sessions. So these are interactive sessions where we get students to ask questions. We prepare them for assessments or examinations, or we provide feedback in terms of the assignment that they've submitted. So on there, you can find the dates and times. You can find the link to access the actual sessions, and then afterwards you will find the link to access the recorded version of the session together with the slides. Okay, then we have a whole tab with regards to Proctorio. So for those of you that are not familiar with Proctorio, this is our online invigilation system that we now use. All our exams are online, and you can write from home, and Proctorio will then guide you in terms of what you need to do. And if you have any questions or any issues with Proctorio, you are likely to find your information that you need on the Proctorio help tab to guide you in terms of what to do. Okay, then with regards to our formative assessments, so we just uploaded this part so that you can just see kind of what it looks like. So you'll see there at the top, you can download your assessment. Then there's a tab where you can download the template on which to complete it. And then also an upload space for your assignment. And then afterwards, we also upload the marking guidelines for you on that tab. We also have the online tests on the same tab, so you can see the online test 1 and online test 2, and you can also then see which one of them are proctored and which are not proctored. Okay, then we have got a mock exam tab that we've created for our students. So this is, we've mainly used, for instance, old exam papers to set together a mock exam, so that you can have an idea of what to expect in the exam, what the structure kind of will be in the exam, what type of questions you can expect. So most of our modules are currently in Moodle exams. So that means that you don't have to use a piece of paper or a Word document to actually type out your answers. You actually do it in Moodle. So the mock exam is there for you just to test, to make sure that you have got everything ready for your exam, and then also to test your own knowledge to see if you can get to the correct answers. And then lastly, we have our summative tab there, where we will upload normally the exam instruction documents, and then also where you will find your exam. Like I mentioned, click on the link, go into the exam, do what's required in terms of Proctorio, and you're writing your exam on there. So that is that in terms of our system, just so that, like I said, a very brief overview of what it is and what it looks like. Okay, then I am now going to hand over to Sunay van Skalkwyk, our program oversight manager on the Higher Certificate in Financial Planning. She will run you through the NQF Level 5 qualification. Thank you, Sunay.
Hello everyone, welcome. I'm Sunay van Skalkwyk, as Brunilde mentioned. Oversight to the Higher Certificate in Financial Planning, qualification quite close to my heart. Similar, you can move to the next page there. So why study this qualification if you can go for any other one? I think for me, it's this lays the foundation of financial planning. So understanding at a studying of a credit of 120, getting that knowledge of what's happening in the financial planning industry, getting that foundation laid. So we provide you an oversight in this qualification with the knowledge, and not just only knowledge in theory, but also giving you that ability to operate. So enabling you to give that advice ethically and responsibly. And then in the environment that we are working in, we focus a bit on also the economic environment. So understanding a bit of the investment. So what's happening in this industry of ours, and complying in such a way still with all of the requirements that we know we need to meet in the financial planning services industry. So once you have completed this qualification, we can issue with that fit and proper requirements that we all need and require to be representatives in the industry. So the higher certificate gives you that first steps to getting your class of business certificates. So we do have a couple of our modules that directly enable you that link. So another tick that you then have in terms of fit and proper requirements. And then obviously for most of us that understand what financial planning is about, and also the financial services industry, as you wanting to advance to the all strived for CFP designation, you can, with the start of this qualification, already get accredited via the Financial Planning Institute, because we are a accredited education provided for them. So Mila, the next slide. Here you can see once you've completed this qualification, point 3 there, you can register as a registered financial planner, just giving your clients and also in the industry you're working in that I've done the first steps in getting a designation for where I'm sitting. So this qualification, yes, for lot, a tick to the fit and proper competencies, and that's definitely something to strive for if you want to stay within this industry. And then for those new to the industry, gaining that knowledge, as I mentioned, a good oversight. So Mila, next slide is fine. So as the program oversight, I cannot do this alone. There is lecturers, and we have an awesome program manager that is always enthusiastic and full of energy to help our students. So he's really been a great help to our students, and you'll get to meet him shortly. And then new lecturers on here, we're excited to have them with us. We have some lecturers that's been with Milpark so for a couple of years now. But introducing to you also in each of that experts in the fields that has come from the financial services and bringing their knowledge and getting you to where we are at in our industry today. So Mila, next slide there. I think they can all see the names. As you join in and you'll already get to know your lecturers, you'll see on Brunilda has mentioned it on the under the overview tab, some information about your lecturer. So once you are enrolled, you get more and more information. Here at a glance, you can see who that academics lecturers are linked to each of these. The higher certificate has 4 compulsory modules. So yes, the first time when you're studying, you can be in that position where you can elect 2 modules, where you already know that you can have them in the back, because that is something that you're comfortable with. In terms of the compulsory modules, here we lay the foundation of each theoretical and also practical knowledge of this industry. And we have the introduction, where we typically want you to start off. So a little bit more in depth than your regulatory exam that most of you would by now know of, or if you haven't known and you're starting to work in this industry, linked to. And then you get to know a bit more of your taxes. So not just your own, also that of your client and how that will work in the module financial planning and income tax. And then our modules that comes with a bit more of credits and expecting a bit more of our students is our 2 compulsories with a 30 credit module, retirement and investment planning, and also risk planning. Here you get to do analysis, which is really exciting, because now for the first time you are doing an analysis for a student, for a client, or practical for in terms of a case study, and seeing how everything fits together in our environment of financial planning. Next slide there. So from this page, here you get to elect 2 modules. Now with the elective modules, this is really the exciting part for most of the students, because now they have their studies in their hands. They can elect where they know the expertise are already in, or where they want to move in this big environment of financial services. So in terms of these, you'll see that there's quite a couple of different lecturers to these, and these are experts. They know and understand this field of financial planning, and hence it's someone that you get to meet again and engage with them on platforms here as well, asking questions. You'll see that there's a module focusing on the basic principles of business financial planning, personal lines, insurance. This is focusing on short term for those going into the short-term side or interested there, remember that risk and insurance is up tomorrow. They'll talk a bit more about short-term. Then relationship marketing for financial planners. This is quite a module that we tend to see a lot of students are interested in, understanding how to put together a financial market space for yourself. Really nice module there. Retirement funds. This module, hand in hand with retirement investment planning, we focus on the core of retirement funds, and then wills and administration of deceased estates, offered in semester 1. So just be careful when you have a look at your fact sheets that you can plan around when you take which module. That module specifically focus on wills and deceased estates, and students really love that, to see what is it that my client will typically ask. And this module slots in really well in understanding how certain policies will be affected, and also your planning around that. Health planning, offered only in semester 2. Please just note that we'll have that updated, but that module runs in semester 2. And in terms of that module, focusly specific for those sitting in healthcare. And yes, in these niche areas of financial services, it's quite good if you can elect where your expertise are in and where you'd like to gain more knowledge in terms of the theoretical part of health planning. Next slide there. So over to Ishmael. I'm very excited. He's been with us for more than a year already in our department specific. He's been with Milpark for quite a couple of years already, but he really comes as a gold helping hand in this qualification. And I'm excited to have him again with us this year. So please, Ishmael, take over as your role, Program Manager.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, I am Ismail. I am the program manager for the High Certificate in Financial Planning, and my role as a program manager, I interact with learners based on a holistic principle based on my personal being, which overflows in a holistic approach to their education, development in the way set the tone in all aspects, intellectually, mentally, and physically, and emotionally. And I provide support and assistance, help, guidance, and the correct direction. I ease the student's journey to assist with confidence and competence, guidance to assist in the best possible way to enhance the student's journey, create a safe space for learners that they feel comfortable to ask anything regarding their qualification. So I'm here to assist you guys. If there is anything that I can assist you with, you can contact me and let me know, and I'll be able to assist. So the admission requirements for the entry for the advanced certificate, for the high certificate in financial planning, for the entry, the higher certificate, candidates required a senior certificate or a national senior certificate as certified by Umulusi with a minimum mark of 40% in English. So that's the language of instruction at Milpark Education. So once or on successfully completion, once you completed your qualification, you will be awarded with 120 credits. So 1 credit is 10 notional hours, which means that you should at least give 1,200 hours for the qualification, to complete it. So the suggested rule of progression is that the qualification consists of 6 modules, is compulsory, and 2 are elective. So please note that you cannot register for any of the elective modules when you register for the first time. So it is recommended that students should register for the modules in the following order, that this will allow foundational knowledge for progression. So it will be the introduction to financial planning environment, financial planning income tax, retirement and investment, as well as risk planning, and then the 2 electives modules, and that will give you 120 credits. So once you have completed the qualification, once successful completion of the qualification, the student will receive a higher certificate in financial planning, NQF level 5, minimum of 120 credits. The higher certificate in financial planning is accredited by the higher the Higher Education Quality Committee of the Council of Higher Education. So the program is at the INCRIF level 5, and it will provide for articulation option into the INCRIF level 6 program of financial planning. Students may narrowly proceed with the Milpark Highest Advanced Certificate in Financial Planning. Students may also articulate to the Milpark BCom in Financial Planning degree with the major in Financial Planning. So, yes. So, any questions so far, guys? I hand over to the next slide, which will be the Advanced Certificate in Financial Planning. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ismail. Thank you very much, Sunay. So moving on to the Advanced Certificate in Financial Planning, like we've mentioned, that is on the NQF level 6, and it's also registered with SAQA. And if we go into a bit more detail, why should you study the Advanced Certificate of Financial Planning with us? So it will equip you with the knowledge and the skills you need to operate ethically and responsibly as a financial advisor. You'll be able to respond to challenges and on the economical environment and the changes in the nature of the financial services industry. And like we've mentioned, Milpark is an accredited educational provider registered with the Financial Planning Institute of Southern Africa, or the FPI. So yes, that is why you should study with us. If you've completed this qualification, you will also be able to qualify to apply for membership with the FPI as well, similar to the Higher Certificate in Financial Planning. The staff helping out on your learning journey. Unfortunately, the program oversight manager, Gerrie van der Merwe, is not able to join us today. So I'm standing in for him. So yes, Gerrie van der Merwe is the oversight manager. So he's overall responsible for the qualification. We have got Doreen Lekgoro, who is our program manager. Doreen has moved over. She's been with another department within our school, and she's moved over into our school as well to look after some of our qualifications. And but she also previously worked within Milpark before she joined. But you will get to meet her also shortly. And then our lecturers on the qualification, very similar to that on the Higher Certificate in Financial Planning. We have Leanne Ferreira, Tamsin Gradwell, Lutfia Mohammed, Linka Porter, Gerrie van der Merwe, and Sunay van Skalkwyk. Then looking at our modules, so there are 5 compulsory modules that you need to complete on the Advanced Certificate in Financial Planning. So you can also see there who they will be linked to. Like Sunay mentioned earlier, you'll get to know your lecturers as you move through the qualifications. But just to keep in mind that all 5 of these are 20 credit modules. And just in terms of legal aspects of financial planning, so that would also typically be your regulatory requirements, so FAIS, FICA, treating customers fairly. In there, we also touch on the law of DLIC, the law of contract, and also very basic introduction to estate planning or should I say interstate succession and trust and wills and things like that. In the taxation for financial planners, this is actually what it says what it is. It is taxation. So we touch on income tax, we touch on capital gains tax, on donations tax, taxation of trusts. And so anything tax related, you will learn in that module. In the corporate financial planning module, you will look at the impact of financial planning when it comes to corporates. So typically your buy and sell agreements, also things like risk insurance for a company owner and things like that. In personal financial planning, we cover the first 3 steps of the financial planning process. So that's all those wonderful things that we learn about in the first 3 steps. And then in the practical application, you actually get to work with steps 4, 5, and 6 of the 6-step financial planning process. So there you actually have the actual practical implementation of what you've learned in the other modules. So moving on to our electives. We have got 2 electives that you can select from. So that would be business management for financial planners. So that will also then give you a guideline in terms of how to manage your practice. And just how to manage the sphere of financial planning in general. And then the other elective is trust law, anything trust related. So in this module, you will not only learn about the types of trusts and how they come into existence, but you will also learn a little bit about tax, again, of trusts as well. Then it is my pleasure to hand over to the program manager on the Advanced Certificate in Financial Planning, Doreen Lekgoro, all yours.
Thank you, Brunelda. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Doreen Lekgoro. I am the program manager for Advanced Certificate in Financial Planning. As a program manager, we are more like community builders. We interact with our learners based on holistic principle, on our personal being, which overflows in a holistic approach for their education. We develop in this way developing in this way sets the tone in all aspects, intellectually, mentally, physically, and emotionally. As a PM, as a program manager, we execute the vision of the institution and program and act as a responsible local organizers. So we provide support and assistance, we help, we guide, and correct the direction to all the students. And we ease the journey of the students by assisting them with everything, to build up their confidence and competence. So we offer guidance to assist in the best possible way to enhance the student journey by creating a safe space for the learners that they feel comfortable to ask anything regarding their qualifications. On my next slides, I'm going to talk about admission requirements. In order to be admitted on Advanced Certificate in Financial Planning, you need to be in possession of a higher certificate in financial planning, which is NQF level 5 with 120 credits. You can obtain this qualification from Milpark or from any other accredited institution. And you can also have a national certificate in wealth management. It must be NQF level 5 with 120 credits or more from any accredited institution. And you can also be in possession of bachelor degree, but majored with taxation, legal aspects, or financial planning or financial management. So if you don't qualify based on the above mentioned, you need to be, you can go through RPL route, which is a recognition of prior learning. We accept student unlimited intake on this one. You must have 10 years experience in the field, like in financial planning area, and you must provide us with your CV, and or you can also have another qualification, NQF level 5. Moving over to the next slide. We have the rules of progression for this qualification because it's a specialty course. This course consists of 6 modules. 5 modules. 5 modules are two are electives. You have to choose one, and then we've got 5 compulsory modules. And if you register, you need to register the first 3 modules, which is legal aspects of financial planning, taxation for financial planners, and corporate financial planning for financial planners. You cannot take this with an elective. You have to register these 3 modules first, and then you can move over to the next semester and register other 3 modules, which is personal financial planning for financial planners. Practical application is a case study for financial planners, and you can choose between the 2 electives, which is business management for financial planners or trust law. So in this case, you need to take 5 compulsory modules and 1 elective in order to complete, the course successfully. So this order should help students to build their body of knowledge in a logical and progressive manner and afford them the greatest chance of completing the qualification. The suggested rules of progressions is that legal aspects of financial planning affords a good overview of the legislation that is required to understand the technical content of the other modules. So student needs a good understanding of the tax principle covered in taxation for financial planners, which is Tax P016, in order to successfully complete corporate financial planning for financial planners. CFIN 016, trust law, which is TRUS 016, personal financial planning for financial planners, and practical application, which is the case study. You always have to take a practical application as your last module. So the module for personal financial planning for financial planners and practical application are closely related, and it makes sense to complete them at the same time or to complete a practical application for financial planners shortly after the personal financial planning for financial planners. So this gives you a better structure for the whole qualification. Once you have completed the qualification for advanced certificate in financial planning, students will receive the certificate, which is on NQF level 6, with a minimum of 120 credits. And this qualification is accredited by the Higher Education Quality Committee of the Council on Higher Education, which is SHE. And the advanced certificate allows you to have extensive experience to progress on your higher NQF level. So when you have this qualification, you can articulate to NQF level 8, which is a postgraduate diploma qualification for financial planning, depending on the RPL policies in the institution involved. So this is the end of my presentation. Is there any questions so far? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doreen. Moving on then to the postgrad in financial planning, our NQF level 8 qualification, also registered with SAQA. We are going to look at why you should study this with Milpark Education. So moving on to the next slide, I can say that Milpark Education's postgraduate diploma in financial planning addresses the educational requirements for the designation of Certified Financial Planner, which is awarded by the Financial Planning Institute of Southern Africa. And this designation is internationally accredited or recognized, and it is the highest designation that you can obtain as a financial planner within South Africa. So once you've completed our qualification, you will be eligible to apply to the FPI to write the professional competency exam for the CFP certification. The qualification also appears on the FSCA, or the Financial Sector Conduct Authority's list of recognized qualifications for phase, fit and proper requirements. Then we are also very excited and very happy to also share that Milpark alumni is constantly forms part of the top achievers in the FPI professional competency exams, and we constantly have high pass rates within this exam. So we are very proud of our alumni and what they have achieved. Okay, so what does a DLO cycle look like? So our postgrad diploma in financial planning only runs on a DLO module, which is a distance learning online module. So just looking at what the cycle looks like, it's more structured than the DL programs. So you can only register for one module at a time. There's a 9 or 10 week cycle applicable to each of the modules. So depending on when you register and when you start and which module you are doing, it will either be a 9 or 10 week module. You will have weekly assessments, which will contribute towards your formative mark, and a total of 40% of the overall mark. So your weekly assessments will either be tests or assignments. So it normally runs a test, assignment, in that order. And then you also have your summative assessment at the end of each cycle. So once you've completed at the end of the 9 weeks period or the end of the 10-week period, you will have your exam, and that will contribute 60% towards your overall mark. Then, so we are also excited to share that we have launched our PGDip on a new program as from 2023. And we want to just share what this course page also looks like, just because we also shared what the the current system that we use on the other qualifications look like. But this is our new Canvas system. And on there, you will see on your left-hand side, you'll find home, modules, announcements, assignments, discussions, grades, files, bookshelves, and then a link to Pretoria to be installed. You will see in the mid-section there, you have your orientation, your week 1, week 2, up until week 7, then your exam prep, your mock exam and examination. So it's very similar in look and feel to what the other course pages look like. And if you click on those specific tiles, you can actually enter into that week and see what you need to do for that week. Then on the right-hand side, you will see that there's also a course calendar that is available. And I'll quickly show you a little bit later what that looks like. And also then your to-dos with your deadlines, everything listed on there for you. So if we look at just, if you click on the modules, this is what you will find. So you will then go into week 1 and there will be a flip through. So you can just click on next and it will go into the next page of the week. So it will guide you in terms of what needs to be done. But there's an overall view for you, so you can quickly access anything that you would like to access in there. Next slide, we'll quickly look at where to find your study material. So if you are looking for your online study guide, which is available via Vital Source, you will see that we have a bookshelf option. So that is where you will find your study guide. So you can go click on read now and it will log you into the study guide directly. Then just a quick overview on what the assignments look like. So you can either access the assignments via the weekly tabs, or you can go and click on assignments on the left-hand side, and it will then put out the assignments in terms of upcoming assignments and those that have passed, so you can see what is still due and what you still need to do. You can also, if you look at the right-hand side there on the top, you can show them by date, or you can choose to show them by type. So you can decide how you would like to view them. Okay, then just a quick view at what it looks like when you are in a test. So this is just a mock test that we have up there. So if you go into the test, this is what your test will look like. So you can then just select your option, and the flip through is again there, the next, to go to the next question. And then you'll see also there at the bottom, it says submitting quiz. So if you are saved, if you are done, you can just click on submit quiz and it will go in there. You'll also see there on the right hand side, you've got your question. So if you want to go back to a specific question, you can quickly direct back to that question on there. Okay, then moving to assignments. So your assignments, you can, like I mentioned, find them in different places. So on the assignment tab, or you can go through the specific week. But this is basically what it will look like, where you will upload your assignment. Under that assignment inbox, you go and upload your assignment once you are done with it. Okay, then we also have what we call in our DL courses, a tutor forum. We have got an Ask Your Lecturer function. So that is where you can have access to the online lecturer to ask questions. And you can also find this Ask Your Lecturer on the discussions tab on the left-hand side of the course page. Okay. Next up is, so just in terms of the calendar, so you'll see that it's very nicely organized. The calendar actually there indicates, like on the 26th, that you've got an assignment due, and then on the 3rd you have got a test due. If you've got live sessions, those sessions are also locked into your calendar, so it gives you an easy access to see what modules, what courses you have, and what needs to happen next. It also gives you a calendar feed, so you can just follow. It will kind of pop up a reminder to say this is due within the next day or two, and things like that. Then moving on, so on your PGDip journey, you will still get to know me quite well. I am the program oversight manager. And then we also have the program manager here today, which I will introduce to you a bit later, Wadia Dramat. And our lecturers on the PGDip is Leanne Ferreira, Tamsin Gradwell, myself, Jurgen Moller, Gerry van der Merwe. Okay, then moving on to the modules of the PGDip. So you will see that there are 7 compulsory modules on our PGDip. You can again go and have a look to see who's responsible for what modules. And you will also notice that the very first module there is a non-credit bearing module. However, this is still a compulsory module, and it is a very strict module that you have to pass. I think the pass rate on that is 60%, so you have to obtain 60%, but also the only module on the PGDip that doesn't have an exam, so it doesn't have a summative assessment. That is our introduction to financial planning. In there, we basically give you a quick update in terms of the things that you are supposed to already know when you start with your PGDip. So we touch on basic financial planning principles, we touch on taxation, we touch on using the financial calculator, also time value of money calculations. We also look at products in risk, in the risk, insurance, and retirement planning sphere. Then when we look at financial planning environment, that is your basic, again, your legislative type of module. So anything phase, FICA, regulatory, also combined then with taxation. And also there's a part covering the taxation of trusts as well, and trusts in general and how they work. Then you'll see we have got the risk and estate planning. So that would be risk, disability risk, and things like that as well is included in estate planning. And then also obviously insurance for estate planning, making sure that you've got enough money in the event of death. Then on the retirement planning module, I think that's self-explanatory. So we look at pre-retirement, post-retirement, we do needs analysis, we do time value of money calculations on there as well. In investment planning, we cover economical part of investments, and then also products in investments, as well as time value of money calculation, needs analysis that you need to be able to do. Then we also have the corporate financial planning, where we again cover anything corporate related. So again, buy and sells, risk products for businesses, anything that you need to know about corporate financial planning, as well as medical aids. And then lastly, we have the case study module, which is a combination of everything that you've done then in your PGDip, where we just guide you in terms of how to prepare a case study or how to prepare a financial plan in an holistic way for your clients. So touching on all the tax, estate planning, retirement planning, investment planning, corporate planning, anything that you need to look at. Okay, then next up there. So it is then my privilege to also now hand over to the program manager, Wadia Dramat. Thank you, Wadia.
Thank you, Brimilda. Good afternoon, everyone. As Bruni said, my name is Wadia Dramat, and I will be your program manager throughout this qualification that you will, when you join us. So the aim or my role is such that I do the admissions and the registrations, and I assist and guide students throughout the journey, provide them with a table, or should I say a study plan, and explaining which modules they'll start with and then which modules they will continue until you reach the case study module. I also conduct then and will administer the RPL process in conjunction with Brimilda, and when we then look at students that will continue onto the qualification via that route. As I said, we also conducted risk management throughout the qualification, which is part of our rules of progression that we do. And we also consider exemptions between me and Brimilda, which exemptions are applicable and apply to students. So those are just part of the functions that I have in conjunction with Brimilda, and as well as some of the academics that we have available. Next, please. Okay, so admission requirements onto the program. So we require an appropriate bachelor's degree on NQF level 6, which is for old NQF level 6, and then on NQF level 7, which is the new, how it is now, the designation now is NQF level 7. A pass in mathematics with a C symbol on higher grade. As well as then we require a detailed CV, because we use the CV in conjunction with your bachelor's degree, and then we look at how to design a study plan, an appropriate study plan for you. As I said, if students come that does not have an appropriate bachelor's degree, that has an NQF level 5 and 6 in financial planning, we then accordingly provide them with a study plan according to what they have. Hence, we require your not just your results, your degree certificate, as well as the detailed CV. And students who does not have tax or the appropriate tax knowledge or product knowledge, we will obviously guide you in terms of that. So you will start with induction, which is a compulsory module even though it's non-credit bearing, but everyone starts with the induction module, so everybody gets placed on the same level. Once that module is done, you'll have knowledge of tax and of product knowledge to then continue with the next module, which would then be financial planning environment, which you need to pass as one in conjunction with the induction module before you can continue with the rest of the qualification. Okay. RPL students, we only admit a limited amount, which is currently standing at 10% that we can admit via the RPL program. Next, please. So on admissions, student will be, as I said previously, on admission, student will receive a proposed study plan, which is on the admission letter, which it will tell you which modules to complete. And students with limited tax knowledge will be required to complete the induction and the financial planning environment module. Our retirement module is a prerequisite for investment planning, which means you cannot do investment planning until you have not passed or completed or are busy with retirement planning as such. Then our case study module, we recommend that case study must be completed last because, as Pramilda said, it touches on everything. We give you case studies that you need to complete, and in order to complete those case studies, you need to have all the information of the other modules that you have completed, then to complete the case study module, the knowledge and understanding thereof. There's only these 5 cycles for the year, and you can only do 1 module per cycle, not 2 modules. It's non-negotiable. Only 1 module per exam cycle or per cycle can be done. Next, please. Okay, you can find us on the Milpark website, on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, or Instagram. You can also just email us if you require more information, and our sales assistants will gladly assist in providing you with the necessary information that you require. Is there any questions surrounding the postgrad qualification for me and or Pramilda? Or any of the other qualifications? No? Okay.
Hi Pramilda, we actually do have questions on our Ask a Question box.
Okay, so if we quickly look at those, I'm doing my NQF5 financial planning. On my summative, I've got 64% in tax income. I'm asking how is the final mark calculated. So just in terms of your NQF5 qualifications, so your formal mark or your final mark is calculated by your summative mark, which counts as 70% towards your final mark, and the formative mark counts 30% towards that. You could also just have a look at your assessment guidelines on the specific module. That will also give you an indication of how that is calculated. We had another question about the PGDip. Can you start it in any cycle? Yes, we have 5 intakes, like Wadia mentioned. We've got 5 cycles, so we do 5 take-ins per year. So you can start at any time in the year with your qualification. And then also just to confirm, yes, the PGDip in financial planning is running on Canvas only. Good. That is then all from our side. I'd like to thank everyone for taking the time to join us today. If you have any other questions, please feel free to make contact with us. Similar's also posted a poll there for us. So if you would like us to contact you to discuss any of the qualifications with us, you are welcome to also just click there, yes, and we will make contact with you. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a wonderful day.